lies over and over again, but still.
It's like you said, he looks like he's the part.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
And
he look like the part he try to plays it. You know, as long as you getting entertained by it, you're gonna continue to do it. Gotcha. You know, if a fool is being entertained, he can continue to be a fool.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And you know that's what he doing. And the ones that involve themselves and be able to entertain him while he's entertaining them, meaning that co-signing everything or whatever. And I know some of them just don't have nothing to say. They just want to go off of one thing that he say or whatever and just go with it without doing your own research. But when it all comes around, especially when what was said is not true and it's been proved wrong, when it all comes back around in full circle, you become that fool. You become the fool that was fooled.
Joshua said he knocked you out in 6.
Yeah, he don't believe that. Joshua don't believe that. He don't believe that at all. You know. And he don't believe that. He really don't believe that. You know why? Every time he try to speak, it's never when I don't have a fight, but it's always when we got something lined up. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always vocal about everything. All right, after this, let's do this. And I'm solid. When have I went against my word? When? Even when I tell you what I'm going to do to some of these guys. The only thing that don't really happen when I say shit is predicting rounds. Because sometimes shit, fate changes. It may not be in the first round no more. Probably in the 12th round. You know what I'm saying? But what was in the 12th round of that time might be in the 3rd round this time. You better not blink. And I told y'all that. You know what I'm saying?
You're definitely much better in the second time around. And the combination of you getting better.
Those are the words of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. He speaks Eddie Hearn. He mentions Anthony Joshua, but really he went deep on Eddie Hearn. He referred to Eddie Hearn as the white guy, blue eyes. He's evil, he's sneaky. You can read right through it. And one thing is apparent. Deontay hates Eddie Hearn. And I think it's more than just black and white. I think, that does have something to do with it, but then yet his manager is an old white guy. You know, I don't know what color fucking Finkel's eyes are, but I know he's a white, bald-headed guy that is in charge of Deontay Wilder's career. So for him saying, oh, well, Eddie Hearn's a white, blue-eyed, evil guy, you can tell with his white, blue eyes. I'm like, well, dude, you got a fucking manager that's white. Like, stop. And then in the beginning of this interview, he was saying, like, oh, the people in the UK, and a lot of them ain't in the same skin color as me. Because, as you guys can remember, Wilder said about the people in the UK don't like him because he's dark-skinned. Remember that? And, of course, I had to counterpunch that, debunk that, because that's not true. Because a lot of people, when they don't get what they want in success in life, like Deontay was not getting, which is funny. He got more love at the UK than he got here in America. But then before that, he was claiming that the UK didn't like him because of the color of his skin. So, of course, he already implemented that into his reasoning for people not liking him like they should versus someone like Anthony Joshua, which is lighter skinned than him, right? So it's like a situation where he's trashing Eddie Hearn for basically being white, for lying, for being white first, then for lying second, saying he was contradicting when the things that he said was proven wrong, which he didn't go into detail. That's exactly why me, as reporting news and interviewing people, that's exactly what I want to do. Go into specifics. Don't tell me some shit that, oh, it's been proven wrong. Then there's no examples. Give me examples of what you mean by, oh, Eddie Hearn was wrong about this. Okay? Now, I'm with you got to see both sides of the story. I'm always with that because there's always another side of the story. I'm with him on that. But then if you're not trying to explain your side of the story on your side of the street, what are we going to go off of? You can't yell. Sorry, I'm listening to Deontay too much. You can't yell to this day and all this without explaining yourself. Because here's the deal. If you're not able to explain yourself and you lash out in anger, that's all people going to see at the end of the day. Okay. Anthony Joshua, he said, oh, well, of course, it was Barbershop Conversation was interviewing him, another militant, pro-black, so to speak, whatever, so-called channel, because, that's a walking contradiction. But anyway, he interviewed Wilder. This is his interview. And he mentioned to Wilder that Anthony Joshua knocks you out in 6. He's like, he don't believe that. He don't believe that. Joshua don't believe that. Everything I say is solid. Joshua don't believe that. Everything I say, what have I said that ain't happened? I'm like, dude, you the same fucking person that turned down $100 million and then in the next interview, the one after you knocked out Dominic Brazil, the good thing come for those who wait. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you were offered this fight. You can't say, and people are not stupid, you can't say that you weren't offered this fight for $100 fucking million for 2 fights. You can't say that. There is no way around it. You can throw that $50 million bullshit offer up everybody's ass that didn't supposed to have a contract. You can't prove it had a contract, right? He can't prove anything. You called a promoter, which your people supposed to call that promoter to do. We've been there. And then yet you turn down that amount of money because you then blame it on, well, we've been here so many times. I was so hurt, Like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? You're a prize fighter. If you don't like the guy, and he wasn't even dealing with Eddie Hearn. He was dealing with John Skipper. Oh, well, I guess that's another blue-eyed white guy. You know what I mean? Like, what's the excuse with that? It's not Eddie Hearn. It was John Skipper because he wanted the fight between him and Joshua to happen. If you don't want to fight, if you hate Eddie Hearn that much, that fucks with your legacy, if you hate him that much to allow that promoter to fuck up your legacy, so be it. But it's stupid. It's dumb. And then you trying to make a legacy out of fighting Tyson Fury, but all you seem to do is break down his name and his character and who he really means and what he really did in the heavyweight division. Well, if you break him down like that, what does he mean to your resume? I mean, the question is, what did he really mean when he came back on the scene? He didn't mean much. He was just a fat guy that once upon a time beat Klitschko, that got way out of shape, that got fat as fuck like Buster Douglas and came back to the sport of boxing and draw with you. And so what does that make you? Right? So a lot of these things, man, it just really doesn't make sense with Deontay Wilder. I know he has true hatred for Eddie Hearn, but I would rather him explain himself more than to say, oh, these things have been already debunked. By who? By what? Have you guys got a sit down? Look, you know what? At this point, honestly, I wouldn't care who fights who anymore. I don't care if Joshua never fights Wilder. What I would like to see is 4 people, 4 chairs, Finkel, Hearn, Joshua, Wilder. Sit your ass down and let's talk it out. Right? And there's all of them are mic'd. Right? All of them are mic'd. And you have someone like Max Kellerman. So you got to have someone else. Right? And two like Joshua Hearn on this side, Wilder and Finkel on this side. And then Max in the middle. Fuck it. I'll be in the middle. And I'll ask the questions. That's how I would love that to be and to see and be broadcast via Sky Sports, BT, Showtime, ESPN, all the major networks to see which one of these motherfuckers were lying. That's what would be the real. Instead of he said, she said, and he said, she said, and it's bullshit. Because you see Wilder talking and and he said, well, that wasn't even a counterpunch. This dude, this unified champion, Anthony Joshua, saying he's going to take you out in 6 rounds? 6. And you say, oh, he don't believe that. He don't believe that. Like, make the fight happen. Accept the deal. If it's 50-50, accept it. He's just a boy cried wolf. We tried so many times. Well, who's holding up the fight if you claim you don't believe the promoter that other fighter that you claim the fight has? If you claim that you don't trust him, who's holding the fight up? You. Because you claim he's a liar. No, it's not he's the little boy cried wolf. You the little boy cried wolf. Because you're crying that Eddie Hearn is giving you a line of bullshit over and over again and he's fooling the public, right? But then yet, you can't prove to everyone that he's doing that when he constantly saying, I'm sending him offers. Prove to us that he sent offers or he's not sending offers. If we can get that, okay, I'll be on Deontay Wilder's side, but he is not proving shit. Once again, he's talking a bunch of shit, but he's not telling us or showing us nothing. He's telling us everything. He's not showing us anything. That's my problem with Deontay Wilder and this whole thing, because it keeps going back to the same shit with Deontay as though it's like a scorned girl that used to date, and all she can do is, I can't get over the past. That's what I'm dealing with. That's what I hear from Deontay. I hear things of like feminine tendencies, like, oh, I'm hurting. He's a liar and I can't stand him. Oh, I can't stand him. Like, dude, fuck what you can't stand. This is not a personal thing. This is business. If you want to fight for the unified championship of the world, let's see it. And if you notice, no one's talking about Undisputed, including himself. Joshua, the unified champion, said, I'll knock him out in 6th round. He don't believe that. That's not a fucking counterpunch. What is that? He don't believe that himself. He don't believe that. What the... Okay, let's make the fight happen. But anyway, that's my counterpunch on that. Stay tuned for more videos because I got a lot to counterpunch. You guys tell me what you think about Deontay Wilder, the portion of this interview. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunch. Peace.